Here we go. Hi, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm giggling so much. Cooper's such a sweet boy. He's a little spastic, but he's such a sweet dog. I apologize that I didn't have a video for you on Tuesday. We did do work. We did some work in the yard and a little bit of one-on-one, but I didn't have enough footage or any footage really that I could share with you that would make sense. Sometimes when I film in the daycare yard, it's just chaos. You just see a bunch of dogs and me, and so that's where it's like, oh, let's do it a little bit more on Thursday, from Monday to Thursday. But anyways, so this kid, I don't know how he's doing at home with you, and this is something that we'll definitely check in on. But name game, he has done fantastic with. So again, that name game is where you say, Cooper, Cooper. This, he sits and he focuses. Now, he still needs a little help focusing and kind of, he'll get a little wiggly, a little antsy. Come here, Coop. Yes, good boy. But he sits and he looks, that's his engagement. Now, one of the things that we've been working on is leave it. Leave it's going to be monumental throughout his entire life, but this is where you can do it in play. So when you're playing with him and you get, let's take off the slip lead real quick. Come here, dude, come on. So whether you're playing with him, he's playing tug, he's playing fetch, we're doing with stuffies or rope toys, it doesn't matter, go get it. First off, get him interested in it. Get him where let me move this, where he's like, yeah, doing a victory lap of, look what I have, ha, ha, ha. So once he has it in his mouth, then can we play tug? Because what I want you to do, essentially, is he's tugging. You can be as crazy and as wild as you want him to be. We're going to get him in a heightened state, physically and emotionally. Deska boy, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And then when you're ready, you're going to stop. If you need to anchor your elbows in, I'm going to say, Cooper, leave it. When he sits, yes, good boy, okay, take it. Then he gets to take it. Now what he did, and I don't know if you can see it on the video, is his mouth is on that toy. He let it go and then was like, what about here? What about here? What about here? What about here? I love this part, but what over here? Dogs will push boundaries in the funniest ways. So this is where it's, can you leave it while you're working with him? He has to sit and focus, because ultimately, leave it is a total disengagement command. I generally don't teach drop it, I teach leave it. So we can play, but when it's time to let it go, whether I'm going to get ready to toss it again or you're pulling too hard, it's going to be, Cooper, leave it. Sit. Yes, okay. Because he can go right back to playing with it. He can go right back to it. But it's, I need you to stop and focus. I need you to pause and check in with me. And notice that when he tries to go for it and he's like, I've let it go and I'm sitting, but I'm going to kind of dangle it in my mouth a little bit. It's, leave it. You have to be calm and think of it like, you're just, nope, I'm going to wait for you. It's truly kind of like a kid having a tantrum. I'll wait for you to focus. Are you done? Are you going to focus? Yay! Now we can do what we were going to do. Do this in play. Do this in play. I cannot stress it enough. Because when we do leave it in a traditional sense of, I have a treat, Cooper, I show him the treat, I toss it. You did not see it. Toss it, leave it. Trainers will tell you to claim the space is yours. Sit. Coop, leave it, sit. Yes, when's he making eye contact? Okay, take it. Then he take the treat. You're going to push the body of, this is mine. That's a very hard no, it's a very hard stop, which we do want, but if we do it in play, he learns how to basically do the muscle memory of it. I can be really ramped up and then pause, and then either I settle or, okay, I can go play. So doing it in both capacities is going to help him have that stop on impulse or have that pause button when you need to. Deska boy. So when you love him and he's being crazy and he's, oh my goodness, oh my God, sit. Yes. Now we can go back being calm play. Yes, that's a good point. So now I'm a lot calmer. Now I'm doing more soft pups. So when he's doing the pop, 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 pop boxer thing, that's where you, leave it. Can you sit? Yes, good boy. That's a good boy. He wants to please so much. He wants to work so hard. And so that's where it's like, hey, I need you to focus. Now, slip leads. I am going to recommend that you do a slip leash or a martingale collar. A slip lead, I think we've talked about this a little bit, 100%. Dogs learn by the release of tension and tension in and of itself. So when it's on them, shouldn't be tight like this. You can see how my arm is being like squeezed. Shouldn't be like that all the time. When he's walking, it should be nice and loose. It should be, did you find a ball, buddy? He's like, look what I found. It should be nice and loose. So when he's not doing what he's supposed to doing, tug and release, look at that release. Hey, focus. It's like tugging on a shirt. I need you to pay attention. Tension isn't the command. Tension isn't the prompt. It's the release of it that we want him to learn. So come here, buddy. Cooper. Cooper. Leave it. Cooper, sit. Good. Yes. That's a good boy. Notice how I said, Cooper, leave it, and then I didn't, and I waited for him to sit. I didn't force him. I didn't grab him. Patience is going to be the name of the game for him to learn how to self-regulate through these things. It is the hardest part of training for us as humans. But let me move this so you can actually see where the slip lead is. So when we do slip lead work, yeah, that's the camera. So this is where we want, that slip lead, good boy, to be up behind his ears. Oh, sorry. Up behind his ears, and then there's always a little notch. There you go. I'm gonna slide that down so it holds it in place. I'm not sinking it, I'm just so where I can still stick 2 fingers under here, he can still breathe, but they have more muscle and protection in their throats up here. This is where their trachea is. Down here, that's where they're gonna choke when they go noise. So when we're walking, that leash is gonna be between here and just about midway through his neck. Let me bring this back up. Okay, so leash walking. It is a right for him to walk with you being right next to you. So his butt to his nose, or nose to butt, however you want to look at it, that's where it's his right to walk. It's a privilege to be ahead of you, to the side to you, and behind. And honestly, behind, I really don't care. It's more of, you can't be ahead of me. It has to be, let's go, you're walking with me. So I'm naturally gonna suck in that leash to where he has, with me being tall, maybe a foot of leash. As you walk, as you grow, then he can get a half leash, then he can get a full leash, then he can walk alongside with you. But for him to learn, this is his right as a dog, we're gonna walk. Now, in traditional training models, people will call this heel. Now, heel is where they start and stop and their legs are in line with your legs. That's a true heel. We can call this a modified heel as I drop a treat. We can call this a modified heel because ultimately, I don't care. I don't care if he sits every time we start and we're just normal walking. It is, hey, I just want you to walk with me. You have to pay attention where I'm going so that you can focus. So what I want you to do when you have a slip lead, you're gonna have one hand be your anchor hand. The other hand is gonna be your talking hand. So when you need to suck him in, it's this hand that pulls and gets closer to him. It's this hand that's gonna give you that tension and release to, hey, I need you to focus. If you want him on your right side, then this hand will be the anchor hand. This hand will be the talking hand. One of the tricks from a physicality standpoint is when you're walking him, have this leash like you're riding a bike. So when you're, there we go. So when you have it, your hands are like this. I don't want your hands like this. When your hand is like this, your shoulder muscles are more comfortable forward, which is actually going to help. You're going to be more relaxed with him pulling. When your hand is like a handlebar and it's down here, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable because your shoulder muscles are going to be comfortable being pulled back, and you'll have this, your arm being relaxed is going to feel a lot more comfortable. This is more forward, this is more back. So when you walk him, think of it like handlebars, like you're going to go ride a bike. Good boy, Cooper. So when you walk with him, you can say, let's go. You can say with me. I'm not a big stickler on having commands to cue walking. I want the dogs to be, they're smart enough to realize, oh, hey, this is what we're doing, and just start walking. But one hand's here. My other hand is right by my side. Let's go. Good boy. And we just walk. Now, when he's walking with you, we only do a tension release when he pulls ahead. So I'm going to give him a little slight tug and release. Good boy. Or, come here. Or if he's pulling ahead of me, I'm going to walk back a couple steps. So when he's engaged, yes, I'm going to suck in that leash and then, okay, let's go. Good boy. And then off we go. Woohoo. It's like, Good boy, Cooper. Now this that you see right here, this is controlled. This is calm statement. Oh, bless you. This is also, he knows that we're working and we're having treats. We've turned on the light bulb. For this age range, and for especially the boxer breed, we have to get them to turn on the light bulb. We have to start the car. Ways to do that before you do a walk, especially when he's fresh in the morning, ask him for a sit, ask him for a touch. Cooper, sit, yes. And then go put one shoe on, and then you walk away, and then you're gonna be like, Cooper, yes, go boy. Put it on the other shoe, and then, okay, let's go for a walk. Their first 5 minutes of any walk, he is going to be absolutely batshit crazy. If you just know that ahead of time, you're gonna be prepped for it, and you're not gonna be like, why are we doing this from the get-go? You know, hey, I gotta stop and I gotta get focused. We're gonna do it back and forth a couple times. That's where it's really gonna help. After those first 5 minutes, he should settle right back down and nice and calm walking. Now, if you feel like you're just pulling or going back, yes, and then forth a ton, one trick that you can do, so I'm gonna have him on this side, is you can turn into him. What? What's your issue? Do you want the ball? You want the ball. Oh, okay, we'll have the ball in a second. Not yet. Good boy. Not yet. I try to save the ball for the very end because I lose him after the ball comes out. So what I want you to do, if you feel like you're tug and release a ton, is I want you to use your leg to push him. Now, I'm not kneeing him in the head. I'm not like, ah! But the idea is that my leg, come on, my knee is just kind of blocking it. It's like, okay, let's go, this way. It's him having to pay attention to your body. Another way to practice this at home is put the leash on, whether it's you have a fanny pack that you can attach him to, a carabiner, your hands are free, and you clean the house. You do your chores around the house, 15, 20 minutes. And you just, oh, I want to change directions without telling him anything. One, there's a natural consequence for him that if he doesn't pay attention, there's going to be a little thunk moment, but also then it's, oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is going to help him learn, like, hey, when the leash is on, I have to pay attention to where mom's going. I have to pay attention to what's happening. And now he's focusing. Now he's like, I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna anticipate where you're going. Oh, I'm gonna change directions. Now my head is not down. I'm not looking down. My hands are free. So if you need to enjoy a cup of coffee, be on your phone, this is one of the best ways to reinforce it. And eventually we'll get you in a belt leash for your hikes. I think you'll love those because then you can enjoy what you're doing. Yes, good boy. Good boy. I will try to snag some video. It's getting so hot, but I'll try to snag some video of us walking. Maybe we'll coordinate maybe an early drop-off in the next week or so. I do have a larger training room that I do use, and I try to walk him around the facility. Essentially what happens is he goes on belt leash, and then we do the hallways. We practice sitting at doorways, and I just, let's go, and he just has to follow me. Coop. I know the ball. Sit. Okay. Get it. Yes, go. Yes, good boy. Yeah. Cooper. Sit. Yes. Oh no. Leave it. Sit. Yes. You don't have to do toy exchange. You can make him, ask him for a sit, and then ask him for a leave it. As soon as he plops it out, toss the ball again. Good boy. Leave it. Yes. Go get it. And this is also where we can teach him, hey, if you want him to put it in your hand, if you want him to put it in a box, to put away his toys, this is where you can start teaching some of the fun commands. Good boy. Oh, where did it go? Go get it. Yes. It's a little slobbery, dude. You can also practice with leave it. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Can you toss it up in the air? Leave it. Harder one. Can you toss it on the ground? Leave it. Sit. Good. Leave it. Okay. Yes, I know you love the ball. Can you practice that impulse control with the thing that you love playing with? Do a couple leave its, and then he can go chase. No training requirements needed. And it doesn't always have to be treats. It can be these things to get him focused and engaged. Because if you look at him, sit, good. Like, he's a happy dog. Good. Now, the jumping and stuff on those lines, some of that is impulse control. Some of that, he just has to realize that feet can't touch. And I've been working on, like, as soon as I see him go up, it's and he's, oh, right, I gotta sit back down. That's gonna take a little bit more consistency and practice on both ends and more training. But he's doing really well with the regards of understanding Leave It. It's just now the principle of practicing it. Let me know if you have any questions, and he's always a pleasure to work with. He just puts a big smile on my face because he's just like, hi. You're like, oh, okay, buddy. But you have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have questions, and we'll go from there.